This is exciting. We're live again. Yay, I love this. Mondays at noon. Trust Crash Course, John McKeag, Liberty Aid Academy. Learn about the trust live. Okay? How to protect any and all assets without personal liability. That's a good thing. Right, yay, all right. Fantastic. All right, we're working here. Everything's a go. Fantastic. Checking on everything, make sure everything's together. Okay. We are live, and it usually takes a few minutes for people to show up. So we like, oh, okay. And so if you're in this, just skip a minute or whatever if you're looking at this on a recording. So I'm just waiting for a couple people to show up. We do this every Monday at noon, okay, on YouTube. We're going to do a live. I'm here. Trust Crash Course. I go through the basics of the trust, okay? And then ask any questions, okay? Any issues come up, anything. That's what we do here, all right? So the Trust Crash Course. We're live. Usually, you know, we kind of like pick up some people as we go along. We'll wait a minute or two. So good. Someone's here. Hey, we're live. Fantastic. Got to set your calendar, you know, like you got an iPhone or whatever. You're like noon, Mondays. Gotta check it. All right, why? Because you can ask me anything you want and get an answer right on the spot live. There's nowhere else to do that. I don't do that another time during the week. So if you got something you need to know, questions you have, get me here. All right. Trust Crash Course. Let's do this thing. Right? Great, right? This is a tax-free trust for any individual or any business. Okay, that's the main point of this. That you can operate this trust, have a bank account, make any financial choices you want. That's paying for anything for someone, for another trust, another business. No limitations, okay? You can, all right, Vance Max, yo, this is, you recently got our trust, Vance. Fantastic. And I heard good things about your, you know, getting educated on the pathway to get to us, so great. Good, glad you're here, Vance. If any questions or whatever, just throw them on out there, all right? But I'll keep going. Glad you made it, Vance. I'm glad you made it to the no tax trust, right? It's the best, it's so good. And really, just so people know, if you're watching this or whatever, that's what we're going to focus on here at Liberty Aid Academy. We're not doing any more of that debt and credit stuff because it was just very difficult on us in so many different ways. It was true, it helped a lot of people as well, but the trust helps so many people, and it's so easy for everyone. It takes literally a business day. Sure, a little bit of, you know, hey, gotta read the stuff, gotta pick a name for the trust and an address, I watch a video, do a little educating, right? But one business day, you could go in, open a trust, and that's it, right there. You're not reporting, you're not doing anything. It's for, and it's, people are, oh, is this for me? Or it can't be for a business. Yeah, you see, this is the thing. People don't own anything, right? They don't have anything. That's not the way it is. Businesses do. And so people, we run businesses, but we're not business. We're not that plastic card called a person. We're not that. No, that's a corporation, which has tax ramifications. Uh-oh, and you got to report, uh-oh, tax forms, blah, 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 blah. No, thank you. So instead, you just operate this trust, have a bank account, credit cards, what have you, and you don't fill out tax forms every year or at any point, and you don't pay taxes. So it's for any individual, any business, okay? Here for the first time, great. Got my trust set up and 2 bank accounts. Boop. Is that the best? Good morning. Okay, G. Uh, yeah, I don't know about morning, but you must be out on the other coast or something. Alex is a yo. All right, yo. And anyway, hey, glad you made it. Glad everyone made it. I really get some good questions as we go through this. It's really interesting. So anything that comes up, let's get into it. All right. Next slide. You're like, what? No taxes? Yeah. Never pay taxes. This is a beautiful thing. So it's like, what? Wait a minute. And so what happens is you're a 501c3. In other words, a nonprofit and a special kind. And you get there via this code in the IRS code, 508. Okay, and then you go down to C, a mandatory exemption. What? A mandatory exemption? And what? You don't, and then you go down to C1, all right? And then you get to subsection A. And it says churches, comma, conventions, right? Comma. Not and, not or, right? See, comma. Those are two separate entities, a church, convention, comma. So a convention, you look it up, that's agreement between two parties. And, that's a Black's Law Dictionary, so it's really not a complex thing. And the two parties of this are trustee and grantor, which you can hold both places, right? Yay. So that's, you never pay, okay? That's the section where you're like, what? And so you're automatically exempt. It means when you get the EIN, you don't apply for exemption, you don't let them know, that's the end of the process with the IRS of paying taxes. This is a beautiful thing, okay? So, you're in California, all right, G. Well, glad you made it. East Coast, West Coast, everything in between. This works everywhere in the USA. So you're like, okay, not reporting, never report taxes. That's, I love this, right? Returns by exempt organization, right? And that we have a mandatory exemption. So this is an exempt organization. Hoorah. They're pretty exciting. And so you're like, wait a second, let me check on this. And you're like, you read it. Okay, returns by exempt organizations. They're exempt from filing, right? You go US Code 6033, okay? And this is, we take photos of this is from, what's the name of that? It's Cornell University has like all the code up there, the United States Code it's called. And this is section 26, which is the IRS code. So anyway, they have it in such a clear, easy readable format. And it's usually the first one that pops up on Google, so they're really good. So that's, this is what it looks like from them, and we're just reproducing it for the help of, you people understand it. They're really great. So if you ever have code questions or whatever, that's a good place to look them up. So anyway, we're reading this, right? We just read exempt organizations, and we're like, okay. Mandatory exemptions, and we look and we see same exact wording, right? Churches, comma, conventions. They use the exact copy word for word out of the 508 that we were just said, word for word. You see exactly word for word what it gets down to, word for word. Okay, so that's never paying, never reporting. Okay, cool. So we're over that, we're over the mystery. How do they, that's the code, that's the IRS code. It's totally legal. Next, okay, is this a big involved process? No, actually talking about it is a lot more work than opening the trust. Opening the trust, piece of cake. We have a video, you watch it, and then you read inside the document, right? You sign it with a notary, okay? And then you're like, okay, make a bank appointment, right? Hey, I want to come open a trust wherever you're banking, or we have recommendations in the trust too. Okay, you make an appointment. It usually takes an hour or something. Eat before you go. Have patience, right? Lots of buttons to click, but you're just sitting there, and then they're like, okay, thank you for coming. How much money do you want to put in it today? You're like, I don't know, here's $20, $100, something like that. You're like, when I get the debit card, I'll put the rest in. Okay, yeah, that's it. So really, you just 1 hour bank appointment. A little bit of, you print out you know, the EIA, you print out the trust with your info on it, that's it. It's really more talking than doing. Alan Drewski has a question, fantastic. How do you convert an established C Corp to private trust? The company is in a revocable trust right now. Revocable trust, first of all, the IRS sees as a tax sham, so you don't want to have that. That's no good. Because revocable means, oh, I'm taking it from this corporation name and I'm putting it into this corporation name, and I can revoke that at any moment. That's not good. That means you have the tax ramifications from the previous entity. That's a horrible idea. Never have a revocable trust now for any reason. Horrible idea. So, and you don't want it to own other corporations. No. The trust is, you want it just to stand alone as an entity. You see, because you don't want to have joinder. You could have more than one trust if you need it, and that risk is separated. So you don't want to have them connected like that. But the solution is a piece of cake to your question, Alan. Great question, first of all, because a lot of people are in this current situation of a business, right? Oh, I got here like this. It works for taxes for this reason because of my situation, blah, blah, blah. It's the best one you found. I get that, you know. But the solution is the same as what I just talked about. You watch the video, give the trust a name, go open a bank account, and that's it. You just switch using your money over to that bank account, that trust, you see? You just switch. Have whatever your payment gateway is now, however you're getting paid. You get paid by check or PayPal or Stripe or however your business is doing, it's going to be the name of the trust, you know? Oh, I use Bitcoin. Okay, you have a Bitcoin account in the trust. Oh, I'm in stocks. Okay, you have an account with Schwab or TD Ameritrade or blah 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 with a trust. Right? I have a bank account with a trust. After your bank account is open, everything comes and goes through that bank account. It's not action related. Here's the thing, because we're all trained, Alan. Oh, in the past, I had this corporation, and if you did this action, that would result in tax ramifications. Differences with this trust is it's not action related, it's structure related. It's a much simpler thing. The structure of this trust is whatever you do financially, you don't report, you don't pay taxes. You see what I'm saying? It's not action-based. Everything else, action-based. See, CPAs, lawyers, they have a public license, so they're allowed and trained to tell you about public corporations, but not this, you see? And this is a much simpler way to do business. This is how the elite do it, and so this is how you do it. Okay, Alan, if that didn't answer your question, which was a super great question, okay? Ask another question. I'll try and deal with it. But that is a super great question, and your life simplifies remarkably after this. Poof. Because then you're not doing accounting for any other reason than managing your business. Whatever our margin is, how's this working out? How's this project doing? How's this? You're not like, hey, I'm spending way too much on accounting already, so I'll just spend it on the taxes. That doesn't give you information on running a business. So you're able to just focus on your business, which people who are working with you, of course, if it's a business in any format or whatever, somehow to have work these days and so on. So, and this cuts down on your margin, not having to pay taxes and stuff, so you can treat the people with you better. So things just simplify, okay? It's very simple. Any questions past that, Alan? Oh, thanks. Okay, good. That made sense. Fantastic, Alan. Excellent. Okay. Let's go to an hour here. Who is back? All right. What is the EIN number we will be getting for the trust? The beginning number. That 98 nonsense, dude. That's fake. That is fake. Fake stuff. Unfortunately. Is the government secretly good? No. That's what you're saying. At the end of the rainbow, there's this little dude who's a leprechaun, and they got a whole bunch of money. And you go to the government to get it. Does that sound like them? It isn't, okay? Come on now. They're not hiding a leprechaun behind the number 98. No, that's not it. There's all these scams out there. And I have to do this every week. And I don't mind doing it because it's really important that I do this, okay? If someone doesn't provide proof, first off, you get me? Hey, this is what I done. Like I did with the trust, it's all of my work. Here, I got my trust open. It's posted on Secretary of State. Here it is. Everything public, right here. Here's my driver's license. Here's my passport. Here's my social security card with the number. Everything I posted, everything. You know, here's credit cards. Here's everything with the trust. All the stuff I've done over the years, right? And no court cases, nothing for me, no other clients, stuff like that. See, I post proof, give you the name of what I done, where to look it up on Secretary of State, everything like that. So you can go and research, test it. Oh, it's provable. Oh, okay. And here he sits live. I have no problems or anything like that every week. We have a testimonials tab on our website, and notarized testimonials. No one else has that. No school, no accountant, no lawyer. And that's what those story maker uppers don't have. They don't have proof, their own proof, and their client's happy outcome proof. They have neither of those. So that's not the issue. That's hiding the issue now. If there's a secret number, no, there's a secret method. Yes, and they're using it out in the open. And I'm a trained accountant, right? I got an MBA and a separate master's in accounting. And I was an auditor. So I'm like, you know, they're lying. They're all lying about what they're doing. That's what everyone does financially. And I go, look at the paperwork. What are you doing? So, you know, I was like, what's this thing we trust? That's a trust because, you can't use the word trust or bank unless it's a trust or bank. So, that's what they're doing. So, okay, we can do this. So I have this copyrighted trust. You could do the same. That's all. You see, so it's not about the number. It's about how you apply to get the right EIN for the correct irrevocable trust. That's it. Not revocable. You see, revocable, yeah, the trust just means it's going to continue, which you don't want it to be, you know, the government to be able to revoke it at some point. No. But revocable, it's all mind control, you see. Just let that word go. It just means something for the trust. It means it's legal if it's irrevocable. Anyway. Thomas, let's see what we got here. Here we go. Have an LLC doing business in the health industry using a healthcare license. Good. Can this trust be used? Yes. Do I supply a different bank routing? Yes. You'll have a different bank account, so you have a different bank routing and account number. Yes, of course. Absolutely. Now, the healthcare license, now this is for any license. A good question. I love these business questions. They're just right to the heart of matter, makes things so simple. Once a couple business questions get asked, everything is so simplified and you get to move forward. So easy. Great question. I love this question. I get it a lot and I love it. Okay, you pass the test for whatever license, whether it be healthcare, builder, lawyer, doctor, blah, 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 right? You pass the test, so you got a license. And in come the results. Oh, fill out this part for who do you want to have this license for, right? And so the licensing board, you would ask them, hey, can I have my license in the name of a trust? If they say yes, over, done with, that's it. Boom, okay? If they say no, it's still okay. You still operate the trust. All money still goes to the trust. You would hold your license in the business called the person, right? And that business, which you think is you, we will give it no more bank account, no more assets, no more income, no more expenses, but perfect credit. Perfect nothing, but perfect credit. Those aren't assets. Like, go get an EBT card for your person too. Why not? Proves you have nothing, because we're trained, that's you. But your business is then just has nothing, you see? And so, okay, well, that's okay to hold a license in. Your straw man person, corporate soul, every business that we're and that's you. No, it's a corporation. So we want it after you open the trust, right? We're like, wow, I'm going to use that straw man for all difficulties. Send all problems this way that could occur. The license, any problems would occur to an entity that has no assets. The person, you see, yippee! And look, I got an ID to match of the license. But anyone pays you just goes straight into the trust. That's why I always recommend for most situations, your first trust be your first and last name of your person, trust. I got ID. And so, boop, the money just goes in there. Follow me? And if you're in a W-2 situation, this can't work out for you. You can only fill in personal information in a W-2, get out of that situation. We tell you how to do that in our training when you get the trust. You can use the trust for a W-9 situation, no problem. Then you're like, but what about that 1099 I get every year? Well, guess what? The IRS knows you are a non-reporting entity. You know. Only thing is who you work for. They didn't know. They just sent a 1099 to everyone. So you send all items like that to the circular file or keep it. Don't matter. But you don't report. You see? It's simple. And the IRS doesn't, they know you're a non-reporting entity, so they're not expecting anything. That's that. Okay? I wanted to talk about the license issue because it's a way to talk about two things there that are very important. And it's separating risk from our assets and revenue stream and so on. You see, it's always a good idea to separate risk away from that. Trust does that automatically. It's like, oh, that's not my money, I'm just trustee. No, I have nothing, zero. How do you live? Oh, by the grace of God, I guess. I don't know. What do you mean, how do I live? I'm saying, watch me. I'm breathing in and out, Your Honor. No, okay. This trust is never going to court or nothing like that. People ask about that all the time. What has it held up in court? No, of course not. It's totally legal. Why would it be going to court? What are you talking about? Held up? No, no one's been held up. Hold it. No, zero. Not me. No clients. No problems. Complete steady, calm waters all the time. Okay, so a proper discussion there, I hope, Thomas, about that question, and it was a good question. Thank you for asking that. If you have a follow-up, hit me. Number. If it's not a 98 number, what does it begin with? It's random. It's not based on the number. I hope that helps. It's not, it's about choosing the right questions. You see, you go through a series, you're online, you're on the EIN, it's like click, click, click. You're clicking through the questions online. You see, you're just making your choice, click, 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 and then it spits you out an EIN number at the end. That's what the number is. It is important. It was important what the questions are that you answered, and that's it. You see, it's such an invisible thing. It's so wonderful. If you think about it, if you're trying to control everyone and everything, you would have an invisible way to do it financially. And this happens to you. You're now invisible. Oh, how can you tell? No one bothers you ever. No one bothers me. No one bothers clients. Nothing ever happens. I tell you the code. This is what you do. And nothing ever happens to anyone ever. You save all this money every year. And then at the end of the year, if you love your government, go ahead and tip them. As if. But you don't owe anything. You follow me? Okay. So that's a good question. Good question. Because now that it seems so. Oh, it's logical. They're hiding everything. They are hiding everything, and this is how they're doing it. They wouldn't be on Facebook telling you how they're hiding everything. You follow me? It kind of, you think about it, it takes a trained accountant to like track them down. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Alan. No problem, man. Happy to help. How do you put a house in a trust? That's a whole nother line of work. That is, we have advanced financial solutions. It comes with, I think it doesn't come with the trust currently, but we're shortly. It may, but anyway, advanced financial solutions on the website will tell you about that kind of advanced information, and because it's not, so I don't just give information on how to do things. I'm like, these are the ramifications of doing that, and that discussion is too long for here, but it's in the training. Okay, good, and that's a super good question. It can be done. First of all, it can be done. It can be done. All right, and we have the training. And if you look at the testimonials, there's proof that it has worked in similar situations, not like exactly word for word, but you just said, but no, boo, it does work. Okay, Amber, that's what makes you better than that. Amber, yeah, no, I'm just, here's what I done, here's the proof, it's okay now, you can follow me through, it's no problem, and here's why it worked. I'm just very, crystal clear about every step of the process and like that, okay? Can green card holder open the trust? They have. Yeah, 100% they have. They have done it. And they have done it here. I've seen it happen. It has happened, okay? Kira, they denied my property tax exemption again. Will send me a letter in September to come in for a protest. I will give you going whatever my date is. I have my IRS codes printed out, brought back to law. Cool. Dictionary. Ready to fight in front of a panel for my rights. Nice. It's really, that's a big topic. But listen, we're always looking for something, right? That isn't there, right? It's like if you're looking for this trust, and it's like, President, could we see your tax returns? No, because I don't have any. But tracking down this property tax thing took me a little while. But here's the issues, okay? We trust all this property is property tax exempt. All government property tax exempt. Okay, that works for that trust. Cool. There's proof. Next level, we hear, oh, all churches, right, are tax exempt. Okay, cool. Our property tax exempt. Cool. Okay. So now I was like, oh, okay. If I go and look, because you can go to the IRS website, right? You can look up a 501c3 exempt tax exempt letter, right? There's a free query there where you can just type in the name of any entity and see if they have a tax exempt letter from application, okay? And you can look it up. And if you go look up any churches, you're not going to find one. Meaning, they got their tax exemption, all the churches, via this same method of the 508c1a. In other words, they just got the EIN, they're tax exempt. They didn't apply for exemptions, so they have no tax exempt letter from the IRS either, yet. The government doesn't have one for their government buildings. They don't have a tax exempt letter. And none of the churches have a tax exempt letter either. And that's almost all the tax exempt properties. So the only comeback that can happen at a property tax like review or something like that, Kira, good question, is they can say, oh, well, where's your property tax, your IRS 501c3 exemption letter? Well, the question in response to that is, back to whatever else that question is, where is the letter for all the other tax exempt, real estate tax exempt property that you gave the exemption to, right? Because I know they didn't have it. Because I looked them up on the IRS website. You could just go, oh, there's a church in my town, it's named blah. Go look it up on the IRS website. Nope, no tax exemption letter. So you passed them. So you passed me too. I'm 501c1a. In fact, this is all public information, isn't it? Down here at the property tax office, isn't it? So why don't you go ahead and pull out each and every tax exemption letter for every property that is tax exempt in your county, and we'll make sure that you are doing it fairly, right? You're not being unfair. So why don't you just show me their tax exempt letters for each and every property that's tax exempt here? Guess what? They're none of them going to have it. You see what I'm saying? That's the issue. Is you're like, hey, why aren't you treating me fairly? They don't have a property tax exempt letter. So why do I need to have one? Why are you treating me unfairly? Is it because I'm Christian? Are you opposed to my religion? You see what I'm saying? It's so great. You could just be like, that's why when you go for property tax, you just do it with a church sounding name trust. You don't do it with the one that you have a bank account in and so on. Get a separate trust, just holds the real estate, doesn't operate or nothing, no joiner, no separate issues. Give it a very church sounding name, apply as a church property. What? What can they say? You see what I'm saying? You're going through the same exact way everyone else did. Apply the laws at the county the same way to me, to my organization. Why? What? What's the problem here? You see what I'm saying? Why are you making us think about this? I'm expecting property tax exemption. Give it to me too. That's it. It's simple. So sometimes they make us think about it, sometimes they don't. Okay? That's what the issue is. Okay. Truth seeker, hijack. There is no beneficiary paying the trust, right? No, don't have it somewhere. You don't have to name beneficiaries up front, but if you need to, it's easy to do, and it's in the beneficiaries section. You just add a sentence. The beneficiaries to this trust are name, date of birth, and if a relationship to you, like son or daughter, That's it. Okay? Son of, daughter of trustee, da da da. You see what I'm saying? But you're not required by law to put that in the trust. So why have it in there? You see what I'm saying? Why this is a private trust and this is the only paperwork that you kind of like have to give publicly to interact with, like a bank or what have you. So the less information on there, the more private it is for you. So, okay. Kira, you just add beneficiaries privately in the minutes of your body. Yes, true. Most importantly, but you can do it. Most importantly, though, it makes sure you keep trustees and successor trustees ready, so it passes through the through beneficiaries or tax. In other words, Kira's saying have a successor trustee instead of a beneficiary. Then trust stays the same and everything stays in the trust. You don't want things going to a beneficiary because that dissolves the trust. Just name another trustee or successor trustee instead. That's the hack. Anyway, okay, good. Thank you for clearing up property tax. I was denied too. Not good. They see the trust is for my benefit. Really? Very good. Well, you can add beneficiaries. It's illegal for them to require that you show that to them, but you could. If you go study, what's the name of the family? The Trust Petroleum thing from the 30s, that story. Rockefellers, there it goes. He fought for years about his trusts, having them be seen and so on and like that. And ultimately, after years of a battle, they were able to see the beneficiaries was like, name this, that, and so on, and a long list. And then at the end, it was like, and the people of the world. And he was like, see, I told you it was for the benefit of the people of the world. So, you could set up your beneficiaries how you need to, but the main place you run into it, beneficiaries, honestly, is some banks require you to name beneficiaries just to bank with them, just so it's easy administratively. If they're no more successful alive, they know who to give the money to. It's easy, you see. But I say do that with a successor trustee instead if you can. That has to be someone 18 or older. You could name beneficiaries on a separate piece of paper that you could create yourself, and it would be an addendum to the Declaration of Trust, and you could just put it on there where you need it, and it's not there where you don't need it. That could be a better way to do beneficiaries, okay? And write us an email if you're a current client how to do that exactly. It's just a one-page easy thing to do. Okay, Kira, they just think I'm going to give up, right? They probably don't think I'm saying. They asked for church bylaws and dissolution clause. I feel that my 501c3 convention doesn't require it. They denied on that. Yeah, well, the trust isn't for our benefit. We have no ownership of the trust, right? Okay, if they ask for church bylaws and dissolution clause, you could create them in order to get that and make your life easier to give them that. It could be, what's the word? A dissolution clause, a church bylaws. So that means you need 2 laws and a clause. 2 laws and a clause. Not much writing, my point being, you see, and you could just give a little bit of info. No, that's it. We're a very private organization. You asked for it. There you go. The rest is private. You want to, kind of like come to the settlement table with them at some point. So you don't want them stonewalling you don't want to only stonewall them. And so eventually you want to get there, okay? This trust isn't for our benefit. We have no ownership of the trust. Exactly. Keep on fighting. Good. Okay, Thomas, let's see. The license is held by the LLC and can't be held personally. Okay, so that's cool. LLC income comes directly from the Department of Health Services. How can I structure a relationship between the LLC and the trust safely? If you want to dance with the devil, you pay the devil. That's it. You follow me? Department of Health Services. You do not want that license held that way in the name of an LLC. That's an entity. That's a corporation. That's an LLC. You want to get it held in the name of a trust. They can reissue the license. There was an application process, reapply. You see what I'm saying? Or else pay the piper. That's the problem. We're in a current business situation. We did it for business reasons. It made sense based on our knowledge at the time. But now you have new knowledge, so it's like, okay, how can I switch things around here? And that's what I was saying. You might need to reapply or something like that. Interact with the government. Hey, you know, to protect our clientele better, you know, we were recommended to set up a trust. Can we get the license held in the name of the trust to protect and serve our clients better? You know, don't tell them it's for tax reasons. So you just want to interact with them and get it changed over the trust in that situation. Otherwise, I don't tell people how to reduce taxes. I tell them how to eliminate them completely. But let's just say someone may have come up with a concept once and told me about, you know, let's say your LLC donated everything to a trust, you know, every week or month or anything as a management expense, what have you, you know, and your LLC didn't make no money every year because it over donated to a trust every year. Whoopsie. You know, it overpaid expenses for management skill, and that management skill was housed with the trust. So you paid a lot of money over there, and you know, you end up, we lost money this year. Dang it. So I guess you owe us money in PPP or something. Why not? You see? Anyway, you know, you have to have that type of thinking. You see what I'm saying? Like a little shell game. But I don't recommend that. I recommend just use a trust. You see what I'm saying? If you can. And just be like, okay, how do I apply? How do I use a trust? Okay? Do you have discounts on the course for veterans? Yes, we do. Gee, it's right on the website. Yes, it's a 50% discount, and you can read about the details. And basically, you'll email in with a copy of your ID and be like, okay, how do I do this thing? And we create an invoice just for you, and then it has the 50% discount, and you make a purchase. Boop, that's it. Super simple. Good question. And you'll see there's some other discounts too. And I think we have one for EBT, and there's some other things in there too, but I know those two. So yes, so you can do that. Super good questions, super great feedback. I love doing this every week, Monday at noon. Okay, we actually haven't finished the Trust Cash course. We're like a couple slides in, aren't that many slides. So I'll move the background on to the next slide. If anybody has any questions, great. Okay, so automatic 501c3 nonprofit status. Everybody's like, what do you mean? I don't need a letter. What? It's like, wait a minute, hey. And then you're like, okay, let's see where the government wrote it down. And I mean recently. Okay, here you go. When the SBA was giving out EIDL and PPP, because it's right here, right? They have a question, and they give the guidance. And this is on this faith-based guidance, FAQ. You see in the upper right there, faith-based guide, faith-based organization, FAQ. If you were to Google SBA, faith-based organizations, FAQ, this would pop up. And you would see in number 3 would be this. It reads exactly what you're looking at right there, okay? And if you read it, right, how will churches qualify as a church, but you know, and receive tax exempt status, right? And you can read it. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. We can read the whole thing, but in the last sentence right there, little print. Such organizations are not required to apply to the IRS to receive tax exempt status. See USC 508C1A. That's the government in writing right there telling you it's okay to get the EIDL, which, you know, Christian Ministries Trust, the organization, the first one that I created, did receive that EIDL, did get the $150,000, you know, grant loan, and And I put up the proof and everything like that, and lots of other clients had the same success. You do not need a tax exempt letter to be tax exempt. You see what I'm saying? So that's a really important piece right there, because a lot of people have that question. You see, maybe a trust with the same name as the LLC with the word trust after it. Maybe. You see, that's a good question. But well, you're going to have to, maybe. That's good thinking there, Thomas. Because what you're going to want to do ultimately, right, the only thing you need to do is switch the bank account that it's being deposited. You could be like, oh, we got a new bank account. Here's a new writing an account number. And if it goes to the trust, what? That's it. No taxes. Boop. You follow? Funny, huh? Okay, Kira, thanks for telling me. Give a little on my end. I was pretty adamant on not having to provide dissolution clause in bylaws. Working on them now. We'll get them done and send them. Cool. Yeah, make your life easier. You see what I'm saying? Like, if they're willing to give on their end, and they know this game, and they know all the details, they're the ones that approved all the taxes and status. They didn't get a letter, so they know this whole game. So they know there's no one. They know everything about it. Okay, so if they're giving you a little inch over there, and you crack the door, go on in through it, pretend like they have the power and all that stuff. All you want is, yeah, I don't want to pay you those taxes every year. Okay, so good plan you got there. All right, back into the slides here. Okay, what's different about us, right? What is it like? What's different about this trust? What's different about Liberty Aid Accounting? What's different about this John Jack McKeag? What's different, right? Two things. We got support, right? It's not like, oh, we have super secret information. All you can do is click here and you'll never hear from us again. Yeah, no, it works completely. I have a great story. No, we got testimonials, we got email support, we got live chat, we got advising sessions. You can get me. You can get my time. We can talk individually, okay? And some of that time comes with a trust, okay? So, and as I said, the testimonials, I mean, unbelievable. We have a tab of just, testimonials from people that took the time, that has such good success that they made a testimonial, gave a notarized affidavit. Hey, this is me. Hey, this really happened. I mean, no one else, no other school has that. My testimonials are up there too, right? Oh, here's what you learn. I do my testimonial, my own proof, paperwork. Here's what I done. All that. You're not going to find that anywhere else. Nowhere. Okay? What's a foolproof way to get business credit to fund all of this? Get the trust, but every application for credit asks for Social Security number. Okay, so that's fine. Social Security number, yes, that's an identifier number of your person. It's not you, so they have to track finances. That's the way they do it. That's comes from the Patriot Act specifically. It's not you. It's an organization. It's not you. So who cares about Social Security number? No one else can use it but you. That other people use it is fake. That never happens. That's fake. Anything in the news concerned or worrisome has never happened, right? Never happens. So, oh, your Social Security number. That's why I took the time to do that video years ago, put my Social Security card up. Okay, let's see if anybody wrecks my stuff. Nothing ever happened for years. It's down now, but I'm just saying, that's all fake. Don't worry about that. Foolproof way to get business credit to fund all this is take our course, to get the information. You got to learn with our Business Finance 101 course, like, how do I build the right, because we got to do two things in building credit. That's a good question. First thing is we have to set up, the structure. Name, address, phone number, blah, blah, blah. All these pieces of, here's the camera. All these pieces of the trust first. Okay, that's the structure, and all the answers, all the things I did, they're good for a bank to give credit. None of them block me. You got to know what to do. Then you got to go, take these steps to build a credit profile, mainly being, because it's a private trust, you have to put it in the Secretary of State. So it's got to be registered Secretary of State in some state, which, you can do it in Florida, you can do it in different states. We have methodology even if your state doesn't do it. Uh, and then you can build credit with step-by-step building of credit. I think, people expect that if they're out there on the internet, they're like, there's this secret pot of gold money. It has to do with trusts or estates or something. Yeah, this is just about protecting what you have, and no one's going to take it in the future and not paying taxes, okay? But it doesn't, you don't pay a sum of money for a course at a school, which is what we are, and then we give you hundreds of millions of dollars. We don't do that. But if you go to a school that does that, let me know, and I'll go there too. But no, so you see, they get this crazy notion in people's head that it's like, everything could be free. No, but wouldn't it be great if you were, this is the way I've decided how to live my life, and I serve people this way, I help people with this. Now I can actually do what I love, I'm passionate about, I'm great at, and so on. I know I started this work myself for any donation about years ago when I was fighting the bankers and being dead and all that kind of stuff, more than a decade ago. And that's what I did. That's how I started. And then I provided proof. I could do this. And now I'm just doing the trusts. It's fantastic. I've been doing it for years. I provide proof. And then it's like, okay, then I provide a structure. Here's a course. Here's the information. Anybody can do it. You see, I'm still serving. I'm still helping people. You see, and I feel I'm doing it very well. No one's dissatisfied. Everyone's happy. All our clients are happy. So I think I do it pretty well. So credit is to help get things funded, but you still have to follow through with what you're doing. It's that's the way it is. Trust can protect what we have, make it so we don't have to pay a bunch of money, and so on. That does help a lot. Yay. But that's our next slide here. A good question. Build unlimited wealth for your trust. What is the money you can get from credit, right? It qualifies for PPP, right? We put up a testimonial. Look, PPP worked. Here's some money for the trust, blah, 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 did that. EIDL, lots of people did it. I put up my proof and others did. Credit cards, I put up so much proof, lines of credit, auto loans, blah, blah, blah. I put up all that proof. That's how you could get credit through all those different types of credit. Okay, a very good question, Timothy. The course costs funds. Try to take the course with no credit. That's why I say, what's the foolproof way to access business credit to fund this operation? You do it with information. That's how you do it. So, yeah. Please get into the financial aspect. The financial aspect is, I still have to serve people. I still have to work, right? I still have to do that, but we don't have to give away a portion of it to the government and so on. Not our time in reporting and not our money in the bank account. And that goes on to other things like no property tax and so on that you learn from our information. As far as, getting a bunch of credit and then, well, now we're not going to pay for it. Okay, well, what happens in the U.S., right? Your person gets negative credit marks on it for 7 years maximum. If you don't get it on your credit report, that's the worst that can happen in the USA, to not paying back credit of any kind, right? 7 years gets wiped off. So that's how you do it. So you have to build credit first, and then you access that credit, and then that's how credit is got. You start a discussion, a talk like, here's how you got credit. No, step by step by step by step. Here's the information, and that's how you do it. That's the financial aspect. I didn't create the financial system. I didn't create money. I didn't create companies, corporations, countries, system or game. I didn't help with it. And if anything, I could say that no other human has done more to try and change it. No other human by far. And this is the only legal hack that anyone has come up with in Earth that makes it so you don't have to pay taxes, don't report, and so on. This is the only one that is copyrighted by me. Okay, so it's the best you're going to find out there is the information that I've provided, you see. So that's the financial aspect of it, and I think that's a real discussion about it. We lost money. Exactly right. EBT, right? Yes. Oh, right. See, you set your person up to get everything you have. It's not you. You're like, no, that's not me. But you're like, oh yeah, I have no money. I'm homeless. What are you calling person I? Oh, it's your eye or something. I'll call it your eye. I, you know, but it's not you. You see, we operate businesses. So with this very taxable business called this business or corporation, what have you, call the person, straw man, corporate soul, whatever. You don't want it to have anything. You don't want any money going to the bank account. Why? Then you owe some to the government. So give it zero. Absolutely zero. So if you're to fill out a form, it'd be 0, 0, 0. If you fill out an EBT, 0, 0, 0. What money do you make? Zero. What money do you have? Zero. What money? Blah. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Because it's all true, right? Everything's in trust, and that's not yours, period. So you get that EBT money, boom. What else do you have in that state? More north you go, and I guess sort of west, the more horrible life is and colder and stuff. So they have more perks like Medicaid and crap like that. They don't have any stuff like that in Florida because Florida has what? Sunshine and beaches, baby. They got EBT, that's it. Okay. Vance, hey Jack, where do I find the private trust without a EIN? Yeah, no, we don't use that anymore. We're not using that anymore. We get the same benefits by the one with the EIN, so we don't duplicate things. We simplify things. Good question. So this is the slide about the credit, and then boom, what do we got next? Bank anywhere you want to. Go to any bank. A bank where you want to. We get suggestions, why bank somewhere where they're not giving you credit, you know what I mean? So go to a bank that issues a lot of credit, like Chase. Basic, obvious recommendation. But also, bank where you currently bank. You like it there. They know you. It's down the street. Whatever your reasons, don't matter. Just bank there. You already gave them ID, whatever. And then you get it in trust. Transfer everything over, choop. Then you're like, my debit card worked, the trust works. What, it worked, yay, oh my God, da, 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 da. Throw a parade, what have you. And then you're like, close the person, don't need you anymore. And the taxes, boom. Super simple, you see, bank where you want. Right, close your person up after you open the trust and it's all good. Nice, yeah, okay. Gotta get help with that, yes. Any little questions like that, just shoot us an email too. No problem. Or Monday at noon. Okay, what can you do? Protect your assets, right? That means your money, your car could be the name of the trust, your home could be the name of the trust, your business could be the name of the trust, right? Money could also be like Bitcoin. You could get like, Coinbase account, what have you, the name of the trust, no problem. Like that, okay? Business, it doesn't say like stocks and bonds and stuff like that. You could get like a Schwab account, TD Ameritrade account, E-Trade account in the name of the trust. That's that, okay? Easy. And, my Mac's getting low on energy, and this is the last slide. So, just a few minutes, so we're going to pop off. So fantastic. 1997, get all those benefits. If there are no more questions, we hung out for an hour. We had a great time. You just go click the button, get all these benefits. You like watch the video. I picked the name for trust, and I got an address, and I made a bank account. Boom! You can have your trust open this week. No more taxes. Government. Wouldn't that be wonderful? It has been for me and all the rest of the peeps here. So take your turn. You deserve this. Come on. Okay? But that's the end of our live show this week. Fantastic. I hope you enjoyed. Great questions as always. You can watch this again on the record. All right? Thank you for being here. Please be here next week. Any questions, what have you? Tell everybody else about this. Like, post this on social media stuff. Guess what? You don't have to pay taxes. Yeah, you death, sure, but taxes, No. Okay, stay happy out there, all right? Any questions, contact at liberty8academy.org. Happy to help you.